federal courts don't allow cameras or recording devices, but we want to provide you enough details and description so it feels like you are in that courtroom watching it play out. This is a high-interest case. This is an important case, and we feel it is only right that we try to provide you with as much information as we possibly can. So right now, we are going to lay out day one. Jury being finalized, opening statements, the witnesses who testified. So for that, I'm going to bring in law and crimes reporter Elizabeth Milner, who is in that courthouse today. Elizabeth, so good to see you, as always. First things first, okay? And I want to let you go because you haven't even eaten today. I know there's been so much going on today. So first things first, what was it like today getting into that courtroom? I understand you had trouble getting into that courtroom. What was the scene like?
The web's leading job boards. They don't just stop there, though. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invite them to apply to your job. As the applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one, spotlights the top candidates, so you never miss a great match. ZipRecruiter is so effective, 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate on the site within the first day. This is the way to do it now. Don't just throw spaghetti at the wall. Don't just hope that the perfect candidate wanders in the door and says, hello there. That's not going to happen. What you need to do is allow this technology from ZipRecruiter to find the candidates. Go out there, find them for you, bring them to your attention. Right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles, Knowles. That is ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles, Knowles. ZipRecruiter.com/Knowles.
World I was being brought into.
The world within these walls was inconceivable. A horror house of sexual abuse and international sex trafficking.
I was abused by people that I can't even mention here. There's a lot of scars hidden behind those walls. It should be ripped down. It should be burned to the ground. Some of my worst memories are from this place.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Jeffrey Epstein led a privileged life. His extraordinary wealth on show around the world. He had his own fleet of planes, a private island, ranches.
In a strange city, in a strange hotel, having sex with a stranger for money. How did I get here?
I think I was probably one of the first victims of human trafficking. She was using me as a slave.
Witchcraft, sexual exploitation, and missing women. Then, a desperate search by their families and the FBI.
She was, by definition, a master manipulator. You guys are going to have a really difficult time telling the story because it's not a simple story.
They're saying she is a danger to society because she can change people's mind with her words. She can too.
Can you?
Can I? You tell me, can I? I hope I can.
Most of all, the ways our institutions embed certain myths in our society, myths that prevent us from gaining the knowledge we need to improve our world. In all of these ways, our democracy is hindered by the false reverence for institutions that actually need to be reformed, just as we need to highlight the good elements of them. That's really what my book is about.
And the myth, the false reverence, what are we talking about there?
So there's a way in which we believe that if we love our country, it's somehow wrong to criticize our institutions. I believe if you love your country, you want to encourage your institutions to get better and better. I love my university where I work, but I want it to be better. We have many flaws. I love my family, but I'm constantly telling family members how they can be better. That's what true knowledge leadership is about, not just cheerleading.
What's the counterpoint to that? Because the other extreme is a deep, all-encompassing cynicism towards institutions. So from
to say, hey, Bob, why don't you come on out to the Nevada desert?
Well, the way this went down was, at that time, it was 1982, I put a jet engine in my Honda. And Los Alamos put it on the front page of the paper. It said, Los Alamos man, physicist at the lab, built this 200 mile an hour, Honda jet car that I drove to work every day. So I was known in Los Alamos, the guy with the weird car, and you could hear it from a mile away. Anyway, the day that came out on the front page of the paper was the day Edward Teller, the father of the hydrogen bomb, was giving a lecture down there at the lab. And we didn't have much going on that day in our group, and I asked if I could go down there.
When I was there, I went to visit rehabilitation center. Before that, I didn't know that these centers exist. So seeing things is very different from reading things. And I had engagement session with those kids, which really touched my heart, because they are kids like any other kid. They have dreams. They ask me questions about how they can get a scholarship, how they can be educated and go abroad, for instance. And they have their own dreams. So they are rescued from this slavery situation. But unfortunately, in many cases, they are not even back to the families because of poverty or lack of awareness or any other issues. They are still at risks. So they are kept in these rehabilitation centers up to 18, but then they are
Some have already gone on stage, some they still have sets upcoming, but they're all facing some backlash right now. Because Saudi Arabia, as you hopefully know, for quite a while has been criticized for its human rights abuses, like arresting journalists, exploited labor, executions for crimes like drug offenses, and way more. Like, it's literally about to be the anniversary of when Mohammed Bonesaw is believed to have killed Jamal Khashoggi. And in fact, just earlier this year, the nation's top court there executed a journalist who had been behind bars for over 7 years. And so with all this, last week you had Human Rights Watch issuing a statement arguing that the Saudi government is using the festival, quote, to deflect attention from its brutal repression of free speech and other pervasive human rights violations. And you had them then urging the performers to use their time at the festival to urge Saudi leaders to free unjustly detained journalists and activists so they're not laundering the government's reputation. Right, but also, it's not just activists and nonprofits who are slamming comedians. I mean, you have tons of other comedians also speaking out. Right, you recently had comedian Mark Maron speaking on this.
I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a suitcase. But don't let that...
To the end of my contract with Stained, and I was now free to do whatever I wanted to do. I had always thought about putting out a solo record, if you will. A lot of lead singers do that. I didn't want it to be Stained light. I wanted to do something different and reinvent what I was doing without reinventing myself.
Yes.
And the only direction to go was country music, because it was such a part of my being, part of my whole childhood memories and the landscape of it. So when I decided that I was actually going to do something by myself, that was the direction that I went.
It's funny, I think people think of country music as a regional music.